wanted to try and include a couple of case studies, and these are really brief just because of the time that we have got this morning, but starting to think about this effectiveness. And so we've got a policy in place. Our policy talks about ongoing monitoring, but checking that that's working in reality. So this example is you've got a client, you onboarded them. At the time that you were onboarding them, they worked at a private company, and that didn't elevate the risk. You obtained all the necessary due diligence to meet the standard due diligence line that was set, but you didn't undertake ongoing monitoring. They take on a new role, and that role is at a state-owned entity, and they're in a senior management position at that entity, fairly high up in the chain. This brings with it a number of risks. The biggest risk here is that non-compliance will be found. The right level of CDD is not conducted on the file, okay, as a result of there being no ongoing monitoring undertaken. And that's specified in Regulation 28, the requirements around ongoing monitoring. And Regulation 33 sets out what's required when enhanced due diligence is needed on the file. So if this person was to become a PEP, you would need to think about what Regulation 33 means for you. So, what can you do in this case? Well, in this case, you can think about how you're going to identify triggers. And triggers are certain things that happen in a client relationship that would require you to conduct ongoing monitoring. They can be lots of different things. So, changes to PEP status, maybe sanctions, maybe it could be regulatory warnings. It could be somebody moving address and property and those kind of things as well. And so, thinking about how do you monitor for these triggers? There are many different ways that you can achieve this. Technology is one of the great ways that you can achieve that continuous overview of some of these elements, such as PEP screening and sanction screening, which really support you and enable you to be as compliant as possible throughout that time without always saying to your client, can you just confirm? Can you just confirm? And it gives that level of independence as well and separation from relying on the client's word alone. Another example here that we can talk about is high risk third countries. And if you're not aware, the high risk third country list since the beginning of this year has come and been defined by the FATF and the Financial Action Task Force. And they have two separate lists, but there are certain countries that fall within that list that require certain enhanced measures to be conducted.